The final 3 of the reroll banners is out today. This is going to be the Attack Summon Reroll Banner. Remember, guys, this is 6k Lapis here. Oh, could you imagine with 60k? 6k Lapis for a 10+1 guaranteed 5-star unit that's on the banner here, and the guaranteed unit comes with a 50% Super Trust Mastery reward Moogle for that specific character. Now, this one right here is going to be the Super TMR Extraordinaire banner to allow you to do a bunch more damage to different enemy types and stuff of that nature. So let's get in here right now, guys. I'm gonna go through the characters and whoops, oh my goodness, drop rate. I almost clicked the summon button. Oh my goodness. All right, drop rates for the characters. Let's scroll down now to the guaranteed units here. Let's go through the list together. So these are the guaranteed units. These are the only ones that you're gonna find on the banner as well. You can get them in addition to the guaranteed one, but these are gonna be the only 5 stars here. Now we're gonna have a Lapis, which is a pretty dated unit, and Vampirism Super TMR is okay, but nothing like super crazy insane because the killer's only 25% there. Queen is here, very outdated unit, not even usable. Don't tell Cyanite that in today's standards. Definitely not a meta unit. Lucid Lenses is in there, which is a pretty interesting Super TMR. It's not like broken, but it is really good because it's one of the only ways to just apply a cannot die guts passive to any character into the game. It's 55 flat attack, and then if a character would die, as long as they're above 1% HP when they would die, they instead do not perish and they will remain at 1% health. So this can help your character survive through thresholds, etc. If you have another character and put this on them that does have a guts passive that locks them at a different percentage HP threshold, say passive that, you know, if they were above 5% HP, it locks them at 5% health, and you had this on, then they would get locked at 5%, and then the next attack that would kill them would lock them at 1%, and these effects do reset after a re-raise or a raise effect, so you can allow your characters to just really live through a bunch of attacks there. Dark Knight Leon here, very it's a usable character, but like nothing super insane. His Super TMR isn't really worth it. It's up to 100% attack as long as you're wearing certain pieces of armor and weapons, so it's okay there. Eldor King Rain's gonna be one of the more usable characters on the banner here. His TMR is very strong, limit burst damage, heavy armor body piece, so if you you know, maybe get one of him as one of the other rainbows, you could use that. And his Super TMR is a 2-handed sword that gives you 50% true double hand while having it equipped there. And like I said, he is one of the better characters on this banner to actually use. Aurora Frivia is in here as well with her latents and ability upgrades, and Awakenings is a very powerful character. And her Super TMR is really only kind of useful for 2-handed sword using hybrid damage dealers in the form of Daybreak there. It's very good on her. She does have other weapons that you can use on her though. And then her TMR is pretty powerful for certain hybrids as well. It's a robe that gives attack and magic and percent attack and magic at the same time. Zach is here. His Super TMR is a true double hand, 100%. That gives you some bonus attack. It's 30 or 40% attack as long as you're equipped with a great sword. So very powerful Super TMR for true double hand attack builds that are using great swords there. As far as a character, he's like usable, but he's not like a meta tier character, not really worth pulling for specifically. Same thing with Balthier and Dressy Ilene. You can use them, but they're not really meta tier characters. Balthier Super TMR gives you 80% attack when equipped with a gun, as well as 50% machine killer. Dressy Ilene Super TMR gives you access to a 2-handed gun weapon that has 180 attack on there. So if you're looking for that gun meta, those are characters that you can get on your hands there as well. Now, more interestingly, King Edgar of Figaro is actually in this banner instead of the support banner, and he is one of the characters that will allow you to do multiple things in your team. He's got Abuse and Imperils. He's more of a supportive character. He's got access to up to 84% breaks as well. So if you're looking for King Edgar of Figaro, he wasn't on the support banner, but he is on this banner here. And speaking of supports and damage dealers, and really like not the craziest thing ever, in some Super TMR very similar to Queen's is Chocobo Fina, very tanky damage dealer, still usable, true dual wield spirit based character, so like a worse version of what is it, Xuanwu and Xinglong character here. Her Super TMR is very similar to that of Queen's, and it is pretty powerful. It's 45 attack, defense, magic, and spirit. Gives you the guts passive where you live if you were to die at 1% HP, and it also gives you 3 limit burst gauge crystals per turn. So if you have access to this, it's nothing worth chasing, but you'll be putting this on your supports and your healers quite often there, because it's going to give that limit burst gauge per turn, to give some spirit and it's going to give your healer a guts passive too, which is kind of rare to have healers with guts passive. So it's going to enable some, you know, select opportunities where maybe, you know, you're getting your way through a trial and then everyone gets wiped except your healer doesn't, and your healer is Myra, and then she raises the whole party and then puts re-raise everyone on the same time. So you could have some cool moments like that. Onion Knight, normal Onion Knight is in here with his Super TMR Onion Knight's mission, which gives you attack with a sword, as well as I do believe it's Reaper Slayer, which is Undead Killer. I think it gives Undead Killer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Undead Killer at like 50% there. Kaito is on here as well. Not really a meta damage dealer, but does have that very, very nice Super TMR with a 30% evasion materia, the only one in the game. So I know some people might be pulling on this just for that materia there for those dodge builds. It also gives you some attack if you're wearing a katana, and I think it also gives wind and water resistance. So his Super TMR is very, very, very strong for the dodge builds for different characters. You don't need to be wearing a katana for the dodge, but you do want that katana for the attack bonus there. Ilene is here as well. Ilene's another older unit here, but her Super TMR is very powerful. 52 attack headpiece, and then has killers for some of the rarer enemy types in the game, and it's got like a double-edged sword because you know you're not going to be using the killer effects on the hat all that often because it's like stone and insects, and machine's actually pretty popular. But when you do want those killers are kind of hard to find. So you're not going to be getting the bonuses from the killer effects all the time, but when you want those killer effects, this is going to be one of the few ways to actually get as much killer for those types as possible, which is why it's still like a very highly sought after Super TMR. And the attack headpiece of 52 is very, very high in the game. I think the highest one right now is 60, and hers is like the second highest-ish of raw attack, 52, somewhere around there. I think there's a couple floating around the 50 range, so it's a very popular Super TMR. Monk Sabin of Karlitz is here as well. The character's still usable. You've seen him be used by some other content creators out there, I'm sure. Shout outs to the boy. And still pretty powerful character there, and his Super TMR is another one of the very highly sought after things, especially for some of the future characters, as long as you're using a fist weapon, and sometimes even if you're not using a fist weapon. And his Super TMR is Sabin's Coin, and it's 60 flat attack, 30% HP, and then if you're equipped with a fist weapon, you get another 60% attack. So it's a very, very, very nice Super TMR to add not only a bunch of damage to characters, but also that nice 30% health. So if you're working with a character who's got a lot of true dual wield passively using fist weapons, you know, someone like maybe Carton or in the future Madame Adele, this is a nice way to give them access to a bunch of attack and a bunch of HP all at the same time. And if you somehow get your hands on two of these, I know some people, you know, were saving for Monk Sabin of Karlitz to get two of those bad boys. You fill out both your accessory slots. You're going to have so much attack percent from the two of those slots that you're going to open up materia slots for extra killers, and that's going to increase your damage even further. So Monk Sabin of Karlitz Super Team are very powerful. Lunith is here as well. Another one of those old characters that's not really going to be used, but his body piece is one of the tried and true dual wield / true double hand pieces of gear because it's got 45 attack, which is some of the highest raw attack you can get on a body piece. And it also does give earth resistance, water resistance, wind resistance, and fire resistance of 30%. So it's another one of those things you'd be happy to get your hands on. Nothing like you need to go after, but you know, if once you get it, you're going to be using it a lot. And then Radiant Lightning is here, still a pretty good damage dealer, and her Super TMR is very nice as well. Zantetsuken from Final Fantasy 13, 169 attack, and gives you 50% true dual wield. So true dual wield of 50% on a weapon is very powerful. You'll be throwing that on a lot of your true dual wielders that can equip swords, which is the vast majority of them. Now we also have Red 13 here as a character. Right now, not really getting a lot of love. We'll obviously get Awakenings later if you saw the Awakening video. And series bonus boss battle, Awakening's very strong character in the future. He's not gonna be like the best character, but he's gonna be very, very strong in the future. As far as pulling for him right now, I wouldn't advise pulling specifically for Red 13, but his Super TMR is also very nice, which gives you 60 flat attack, and then I do believe it gives you like 30% MP and maybe some high tide percent. I do believe something of that nature. So it's like a you know, MP / high tide version of Monk Sabin of Karlitz's Super TMR, that they kind of have the same 60 flat attack thing for true dual wield and true double hand, whereas Monk Sabin of Karlitz will give you even more percentage attack and HP, and Monk Sabin of Karlitz is definitely the better of the two in my opinion. Now we also have Karlitz Headpiece, which is the de facto like best in slot for a lot of builds, as long as you're not looking for killers from something like Dressy Eileen's Headpiece. It gives you 60 attack, 60 magic. It gives you 20% MP as well. So very powerful headpiece for hybrid builds, for attacking builds, for magic builds. Once you get it, you're gonna probably be using it a lot. It's like the final, it's like the cherry on top of your build, whereas it's like once you get it, once you have all the true dual wield and then all the percentage attack and all that other stuff, you're going to be gaining, you know, depending on whatever the headpiece you have, like 90 attack, 100 attack compared to whatever you're wearing before, or even magic, and getting that nice MP % there. Now we also have the final two, Elena and Regina. Elena, still a competent damage dealer in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I know a lot of people want her Super TMR as well. And if you're looking for it, this is another opportunity for you to get it, which is going to be Warrior of the Crystal. It gives you 60% attack, 60% magic, 50% true double hand magic, and 50% true double hand attack. So very strong for either physical damage dealers, magic damage dealers, or hybrid damage dealers. As long as you're looking for some sort of attack %, magic %, true double hand attack or magic, you're going to be fitting this into a lot of your builds there. I know some people are even using it on like just for the magic %, right? Because 60% unconditional magic is very, very strong. So very, very good Super TMR there. And then we also have Regina, who is still chain finisher. You know, isn't as powerful in the meta as she was before, but still does do a lot of damage there, especially when her killer effects are in place from her specific buffs that she applies. So she's kind of like CG Noctis. She's like CG Noctis 1.0. Noctis is like seen as Regina 2.0. And Regina Super TMR is also very powerful. She's got one of those Super TMRs that you know, people don't really talk a lot about, but once you have it, you'll be using it all the time. And it's going to be one of those things where it gives you 60% attack, and then it has a bunch of various killers on it, right? It's got like Machine Killer on it. It's got like Demon Killer on it. It's got, I think, Spirit Slayer on it as well. So, you know, if you're fighting any of those bosses, this is definitely getting slopped into your materia slot there. And it's one of those, I like to call them like it's almost like the very similar to Karlitz thing, where it's the cherry on top of your build, where like you don't need to have it, but once you do have it, it's gonna allow you to do so many different things. It's gonna allow you to max out your attack % cap while hitting your true dual wield cap, while hitting your killer cap, all this other stuff. You're gonna have like the true best in slot, thanks to like the last piece of the puzzle that you need to have like all of the stuff maxed out, max attack, max stats, max killer, when building your characters. And it's a very, very, very good item in that regard. Now, as far as characters are going, how many characters are you going to pull on this banner and actually use? I would say Eldor King Rain, still really good. Aurora Frivia, still really good, get stuff done. You can use King Edgar Figaro for sure. He needs like a whole party around to just keep up with people, but he does still do a lot of damage if you have a lot of gear for him. But I wouldn't put him in like the meta tier, but he is one of the underrated characters for sure, and he still is usable. Chocofina is still there as well. You can use her. Monk Sabin Occults. Oh, that's what I was talking about before. I thought I was talking about Monk Sabin Occults, and I was talking about Edgar. Edgar is obviously one of the best breakers in the game. Edgar is top tier for sure. Monk Sabin Occults is the guy that you can put in your party, do damage, all this other stuff. Radiant Lightning still does good damage. Elena can still clear trials, and Regina can still do stuff as well. So those are going to be the characters that you can look for as far as using. And as far as Super TMRs go, what are Super TMRs? If you were to be like, okay, I want some Super TMRs to increase my strength, my power level, which ones would I go after? Eldor King Reigns is good, but as long as you have like a true double hand sword, you don't really need that one. Aurora Frivia, you don't need that one. Alespris, you don't need it. Queen, you don't need it. Dark Knight Leon, you don't need it. Zac, you can go ahead and get it, but it's really giving you like 40% more attack, and it's only going to give you the attack if you're using a great sword, so I'd pass on that one too. Balthier, I'd pass on that one. It is a lot of attack %, but it's not hard to cap out attack %, and it only gives Machine Killer. Dress Ilene is definitely one to think about because she does do a lot of good stuff. King Edgar of Figaro's a Super TMR. I kind of skipped on that. It's actually really good. It's a 55 attack and then gives you a ribbon. It's very powerful, but I always find myself like getting ribbon effects elsewhere, and I really like using the accessory slots to maximize damage, whether it's limit burst damage or HP plus attack % or true double hand, true dual wield, and then make up for the other stuff in the materia slot. Chocofina, I wouldn't chase after that either. Ionite wouldn't chase after that. Kaito, if you're looking for the dodge, that's chaseable for sure. Ilene Headpiece, very strong there. Monk Sabin Occult's definitely top tier, especially if you're looking to use a lot of fist users in the future. Lunathus is very strong. I wouldn't chase after it though. Radiant Lightnings, you could chase after that if you so desire. A very strong target there with the true dual wield on the weapon. That's going to save you a materia slot, or it's going to save you a accessory slot on true dual wield. This is going to open up your ability to put in, you know, gear to help you survive, like elemental resistance, or it's going to open up the ability for you to put another killer slot in your materia. So that's going to be something very strong there. Red 13, I wouldn't chase after. Karlitz, I also wouldn't chase after unless you're literally looking for that final piece of the puzzle, like I was talking about before. Very strong there, but it's literally like the last thing you want to put. It's just increasing your raw attack by a little bit versus other options. So I wouldn't really chase after it, but it is there if you're looking just to put together the puzzle. And then Elena's very powerful if you're using true double hand all the time. That's something you've been looking forward to. You can get it here. And then Regina's battle intelligence is very strong, and if you are looking for a materia like that, that's going to give you a bunch of attack percent. It's going to give you access to a bunch of extra killers: machine killer, fairy killer, spirit killer. There's one more killer on there too. Oh, and demon killer. So very strong there as far as the Super Team Art category. That's going to be the one for this one. I don't think I'm going to personally reroll for this one. There would be some characters that I could get that'd be cool. But like the only ones I would need, I think, would be like Radiant Lightning would be cool, and I don't have any right now, so I wouldn't even get close to her Super Team. I need one Lunath. I don't have any Monk Sabin Occults. I already have Ilene. I don't have any. I have one Kaito, so that wouldn't get me it. Unite don't want. I already have Fina. King Edgar figure, I don't think I own any. I don't need Dressalene or Balthier or Zach or Aurora Fry. Although King Reigns TMR would be pretty cool. I'll get him one day as a one of. I don't need a Super TMR. So I'm not going for this one at all, guys. Let me know what you got down below. And I know this is coming out and we're getting Cecil now, so you know, that's going to be a hard draw. I know a lot of people are probably going to pass on this for Cecil, but if you're looking for Super Team Arts, this is the one that you're going to go for to increase the longevity of your units. There should be a podcast eventually coming down the line with a good old buddy about pulling for gear instead of units at a certain point, because it increases the longevity of all of the units you get afterwards, as long as you're going for the certain pieces of gear. And you don't want to get every Super Team R, right? You don't want to be going for the ones that are the cherry on the top like Karlitz, but if you go for the ones that allow you to be absolutely, I call them game changers for your builds, then you're going to be able to do a bunch of different stuff with the characters you get from here on out. So that's going to be a thing. Look forward to that one. If you guys want to go ahead, hit the like button for sure. Helps out the channel a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and comment down below what you guys are doing. You posting, you passing, you pulling. What are you guys doing there? And thank you guys so much for the support, especially those of you guys who are becoming channel members, getting early access to that content. And I hope you guys do enjoy early access to that content. And those of you who are becoming part of the February 99-cent a month bundle club over there on Patreon, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. Help me continue doing the content, continue doing the stuff that I do enjoy doing here on the channel. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.